Many of us watch these super nerdy Hollywood hacking movies and might get awestruck for a moment. Have you ever got the doubt of yourself asking how much of these hacking scenes that are shown in these movies are real? So in this video, let's try to analyze the reality of hacking scenes in Hollywood movies. So without a further ado, let's get started. First up is Social Network. In this scene, Mark tries to extract a lot of images from individual houses at Harvard for creating a website called FaceMesh. Just take a look at it.
Let the hacking begin. Kirkland. They keep everything open and allow indexes in their Apache configuration, so a little wget magic is all that's necessary to download the entire Kirkland Facebook. Hit stop.
To be precise, all he used was wget, Emacs and Perl script. So in this shot, he's using a tool called wget to retrieve the images from the website. Which is true actually. The main functionality of wget is to retrieve the content from the web servers. It's pre-installed in almost every Linux distros, which says clearly that he might be using a Linux distro with KDE setup.
Lowell has some security. They require a username-password combo, and I'm going to go ahead and say they don't have access to the main FAS user database, so they have no way of detecting an intrusion.
And here, Mark requires a username and password to access the images from the database and talks about this thing called intrusion. So intrusion, also known as IDS, is kind of a device or software application that monitors a network for malicious activity or policy violations. So in this case, Mark is clearly stating that it does not have any intrusion, which is quite true actually.
Adams has no security but limits the number of results to 20 a page. All I need to do is break out the same script I used on Lowell and we're set.
And in this shot, Mark coded a website crawler in Emacs which looked for all the links ending in .jpg or .png. And then he was able to get all the links. So this is also a quite realistic scene. Swordfish.
No, don't, no, yes. Said, please. Fuck. No.
So in this hacking scene, Stanley is trying to inject some sort of worm into the victim. And you see a visual interface which you might see in a lot of Hollywood movies, which has nothing to do with hacking. Because in real life, hackers do not use visual interface, and it's pretty much inefficient actually. Instead of this, a console would be pretty more realistic, and you can get a lot of information from the console. So altogether, the hacking scene in this movie is not accurate. Algorithm.
I'm not destroying Mrs. Dempsey. She did that on her own. I'm just exploiting the vulnerability her carnal excess has created.
So in this particular shot, there's not much detailing about how the hacking is done, but the protagonist mentions that he is just using the vulnerabilities of the kernel is providing. Accessing the kernel is a lot difficult. Kernel is the main part of the operating system which has almost complete control over everything in the system. But recently, there's been vulnerabilities in the antivirus softwares, which means if you get the antivirus software through email in which an exploit is pre-binded, then it has the chance of accessing the kernel. So in this scene, it's quite realistic. Snowden.
Optic nerve? It's camera and mic activation. I wish we could take credit, but the Brits wrote it. Activation? Yeah, her laptop's off. Or it was, she just forgot to close it. Of course, how would she know? This shit is so sly, the webcam light doesn't even turn on. I always wonder what was under those.
Okay, let's stick to family in Geneva, all right?
Okay, Snow White. 15-year-old daughter at the international school.
Yeah, Facebook, is that possible?
Dude, Facebook's my bitch.
Seriously? Like she fights with her parents or...
Don't worry. I know all the hooks for this kind of fiction. Query name, so email, keyword, whatever selector you want. And justification is where I write. In other words, turning your daddy into a CIA informant.
Wait, that's it?
That's it, bro.
You don't have to get a FISA court order?
This scene is filled with more of fiction with facts. Here he mentions a program called X Keyscore, which is quite true actually. It's a secret program system used by National Security Agency for searching and analyzing global internet data, which has access to almost all of the webcams, microphones and collect data of every individual, and many governments use this too. So this scene is more realistic. Mr. Robot.
Hi, this is Sam from Bank of East Security Fraud Department. Unfortunately, I have to inform you that your account's been compromised.
What? What happened?
First, before I can answer any questions, I need to verify some information. Are you still at 306 Hawthorne Avenue?
Yes, apartment 2C.
Great. And your security question, favorite baseball team?
Yankees. I don't remember this being a security
And lastly,
question.
your pet's name?
Flipper. Who am I speaking to? Can I get your name and number?
With those details plus a dictionary brute force attack, it'll take my program maybe 2 minutes to crack his password.
Mr. Robot is by far the best TV show which constantly demonstrates the real and actual hacking scenes. So this is one such scene. Take a look at this. In this scene, Elliot uses a popular technique called social engineering. It's more of a psychological manipulation of people into performing actions or divulging confidential information. So he uses this technique to get the key details from Michael to crack the password of his account. Most of the hackers use this technique to get your bank information and steal the money. And here, with all the details he gained from social engineering, he uses a technique called dictionary brute force attack, which is real actually. Dictionary attack is used to decipher the authentication mechanisms by trying to determine its decryption key by trying thousands of likely possibilities. So this scene is very much accurate. And that's it for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.